Movie notes on Sully, 2016 film, 28 August 2024. Viewing today is Wednesday, 28 August 2024, and I just finished watching this with my mom, my dad, and my little brother, Kona Dog, on the big screen downstairs. And we watched it, and I finished reading, and I've already done a book/reading notes video on Sully, which is, it was originally published as Highest Duty back in 2009. And then it got republished about in sync with the movie. You can see the movie art and the book art, kind of similar. Okay, so this particular edition of the book came out with this movie with the name Sully, so they're in sync like that. And so I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers, yeah. And it's a 2016 film, Sully, which is a biographical film about airplane pilot Captain Chesley Sullenberger and is landing an airplane on the Hudson River following its collision with birds in flight on Thursday, 15 January 2009. Yes. So it goes through that, and then, of course, you know, if an airplane lands on a river and then sinks once everybody's off board, you know, the insurance company's like, where's my money, yo? Where's my plane? And if my plane is submerged, where's my money? Okay, so of course, you know, they get to be very hostile individuals and blame everybody other than themselves and say, you lied and you made stuff up. And then, you know, of course, they bring the airplane out of the river and turns out, guess who lied? The insurance company. So, okay, the pilots and the crew and stuff walk away fine because, you know, insurance company people are liars. And that has not really changed to this day from this incident back in 2009. Yeah, so that's kind of what the movie's about. And where was I? So I actually, what was it, 20 January 2009 or something like that was the presidential inauguration, and I actually I attended the inauguration. And when did I fly in? On the 17th of January 2009 and fly out on the 20-something? I don't know. I flew through New York, I think, on the way back. So I went Seattle, Detroit, DC, and then DC, New York, Seattle. But I didn't go through LaGuardia, and this airport took out, this flight went out through LaGuardia, and I went through JFK. If I'm recalling correctly, but it was an interesting one because I was like, that might be the closest I've been to like an airplane crash in terms of like relevant proximity and temporal relevance and geographical, right? Because if somebody was living in Washington, D.C. or New York City and this happened, well, they're not close if they're not flying, you know, accident plus or minus 7 days, right? That's just the reality check of that. So this is actually one that's, in that sense, is, I was like, for somebody who lived in the Seattle area, I'm like, that's about as close as I can get. So there's that. I think in watching the movie, I was actually reminded of something that I was not reminded of when reading the book, and that was, it's incredible, and like when I heard about this back at the time, it's incredible the wings didn't come off the airplane. Like, the wings remained intact even after the water landing. And I can tell you, those Canadian geese, so, okay, and that was one thing I didn't like about the movie. So, in the book, they made it clear the birds were big birds. They were Canadian geese, okay? And the movie, they don't make it clear that they're Canadian geese. They kind of look like seagulls, okay? The bone size, the bone density, the amount of meat, that kind of stuff matters for engine failure, which I'm like, okay, so the insurance company is dodo, right? Stupid anyway. But like, how do you guys respect the bird species? Seagulls, Canadian geese are kind of different, but I can guarantee those Canadian geese are jealous of the airplane that made it with the wings intact, okay? They got their stripped from their body and incinerated by the engines, okay? And to this day, well, all 155 passengers and crew survived. I am left wondering with the question of, has there been a goose memorial? Okay, what about the geese? Has there been like shrines floated on the river for each of the geese that was killed? The goose memorial? I think that's fitting. Wasn't there a goose in some flight movie at some point in time? The Goose Memorial. Or is that just a Seattle thing to do? Dang, New York City. Yeah. Gotta think about the animals. Right? They should appreciate it more than we should, and they haven't. I have not heard of a single Goose Memorial coming out of this. So I don't know. But good on the crew and the passengers for all surviving. I gotta admit, watching this, I was like, you know what I think the pilot and the first officer were actually thinking about as they landed this airplane? I think they were thinking about Tanis is flying through on the East Coast in a few days, and like twice, and you know what I think? Thank God she runs. Thank God she can run. Thank God she's a runner. Because this plane ain't a swimmer. Okay, so yeah. And right, this is one of the rare times in life I'm running stripped. Okay, just to be some honesty right here. Emergency response sometimes does require running, and when temperatures were as cold as they were and the water was, right, this is one of those rare situations in life where seconds matters and minutes matter and seconds matter even more so, right? The emergency responders who ran to their emergency vehicles, right? If they had not done that, people might not have survived, right? For real, for this one. So it's kind of an interesting thing of like, people are like, but I don't even know how to run. Good thing you don't work in emergency response, right? Just the reality check of, if we do want to promote survival, running is an essential skill and a necessary skill. So sorry. I'm a runner, so of course I'm going to applaud that. There we go. So my movie notes on Sully, 2016 film, 28 August 2024 viewing.